Want to get rich and be your own boss? Here are 5 effective ways to riches.
Number 5.
How long did it take for you to kind of establish that first property?
So I was working at the warehouse, so I had went on like admin leave that April. And I said, okay, I had some time to myself. So that's when I started going over. I didn't really go over the actual course at first. I started with the Facebook group. And then I started getting into the course, and then I went back to work, and then I ended up quitting that June. So June 5th is when I actually stopped working. But I had a safety net. That same month, I got my first client, June 24th of last year. So what I did was I started my business in my home. So I didn't go out and get a rental right then because I didn't want to use my money to pay the deposit in the first month rent. So what I did was I have a 4-bedroom house. My 3 bedrooms upstairs, I put 2 beds in each room, and I started marketing to get my people. And as I was getting them, I was staging them and housing them in my personal home. And so I used that money to put down on the deposit in the first month rent for my property that August. So I pretty much got all of June's rent and August 1st rent to use to put on the property.
Number 4.
This business, you do not need resources. You actually don't need any cash. You need to be resourceful. You do not need resources. You got to be smart and, find cheap and inexpensive ways of getting things.
Number 3.
What's the first step? What do I do to get started, right?
Yeah, so when I got into the Facebook page, there wasn't that many. I mean, it was a nice set of members in there, but it wasn't nearly the amount that there is now. And so there were about 4 people who pretty much gave me a lot of insight. I just referred back to their previous posts, those that I felt that were very knowledgeable within the business. I would just click on their profile within the group and scroll to the beginning of their very first post and read every post they made, every comment that was under it. That's how I pretty much learned. I didn't learn by doing the course per se. I did refer to the course for some documents.
Number 2.
Yeah, but $200 is actually pennies in comparison to what you can make. It's pennies in comparison of getting in a group with a whole bunch of people that you can network with, establish relationships with. You run into a problem, there are a good handful of people that's already experienced those issues. They already had answers. So it saves you a lot of time and trouble doing things yourself without any type of guidance. So mentoring is good to have towards to where you can avoid mistakes. But for me, I didn't have a real mentor when I started this business. Being able to connect with those that were within the group, having something to offer them and they having something to offer me, and being a two-way street of the things that I've learned, and I share those things with them and they share the things that they learn with me. I didn't have to invest a lot of money to start up.
Number 1.
Do you kind of want to get into details on kind of how the financials look?
So for my 3 houses, which are all full, and I have 24 people, I average about, after overhead, I average around $20,000 a month. And I can say that if I do everything that I know to do and I implement everything that I know, I could be well over that. But it is just me for the most part. I recently had my spouse to quit her job and come on full time with me, but she's still learning the business, so she can't take off as fast as I would like her to. But if I did do everything that I knew to do, I would definitely be at around $50,000 a month.
Want to learn more about the future real estate? Sign up for your free training material at www.grouphomeriches.com.